Hey everybody, Tate Davis here with another YouTube video for you. This is going to be another album ranking video of a band that I've been listening to since I was a wee little child. A band that my dad is a huge fan of that he introduced me to. They come from Marietta, Georgia, and were a part of the whole Athens, Georgia alternative rock scene in the 80s that REM came out of. Even though they weren't from Athens, they were from Marietta. A band called Guadalcanal Diary. A very underground band that had some success being played on college radio stations in the South in the 80s. Especially around Georgia. They were a big deal in Georgia. And the band consisted of Murray Attaway on lead vocals and rhythm guitar, Jeff Walls on lead guitar and backing vocals. He actually just passed away around a year ago. And Rhett Crow on bass on backing vocals, and then John Poe on drums. They only released 4 albums, so their discography isn't very huge. I happen to like all 4 quite a bit. I actually happen to love all 4 of them. So ranking all these albums was very hard for me to do. I don't have the physical CDs or vinyl or anything like that to actually show you. So I'd encourage you to go look it up after you're done with this video. Guadalcanal Diary again. If you like early REM, like Murmur and Reckoning, you'll love these guys. If you like the Byrds, you'll like these guys. If you like kind of maybe early Tom Petty, too, and the Heartbreakers, you'll love Guadalcanal Diary. So, coming in at number 4, and this is not a bad album at all. It is still a great album. The songs on it are maybe just a teeny bit less memorable than those on other albums. I'm talking about 1987's 2x4. The album cover is kind of cool, where you have the guy with the big kind of 2x4 log, about to whack somebody, kind of an angry little kid. But anyway, there's some great songs on it. It's got Litany, Life Goes On, which is the opening track, and kind of like their one kind of maybe hit. I don't know if you'd really call it a hit. It was a popular song that a lot of college radio stations were playing at the time. But it's got a lot of other good ones. It's got a really good cover of And Your Bird Could Sing by the Beatles on it. So a solid album. Just for me, probably my least favorite of the 4 that they released. Coming in at number 3, and I debated, I went back and forth, putting the albums that would take the number 2 and number 3 positions. So by last minute, I decided to put their first album, Walking in the Shadow of the Big Man, at number 3, from, I believe it was 1985 that came out. And it was co-produced by Don Dixon, or no, it was produced by Don Dixon, who co-produced REM's first 2 albums. And it's a great album. I mean, a lot of Guadalcanal Diary classics on that. Trail of Tears, Sleepers Awake, Watusi Rodeo, another one of their more well-known songs, Ghost on the Road, Walking in the Shadow of the Big Man, the title track, their great version of Kumbaya, the old African spiritual song. A great album, but for me, the album at number 2 kind of ranks just a little bit higher. If you would have asked me a week ago, I would have put Walking in the Shadow of the Big Man at number 2, and their 1989 album, and their last album, Flip Flop, at number 3. But for me, I was listening to Flip Flop earlier this week, and that is such a great album. It's a great album. I mean, Look Up, 10 Laws, Vista, Whiskey Talk. What a great riff in that song. Great vocals by Murray Attaway, and pretty piercing lead guitar lines by Jeff Walls. Just a great just a great album. Flip Flop is probably the most accessible out of all their albums. So if you want a good place to start, that's probably a great place to start. Is Flip Flop from 1989. And then coming in at number one, it's been number one for quite a long time now, since I was a little kid. Excuse me. And that's their 1986 album, Jamboree. For me, Jamboree is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's amazing. It's a short album, only coming in at like 35 minutes, but Jamboree is awesome. I mean, Pray for Rain, the opening track off that song, when I heard that for the first time and heard John Poe's kind of tribal-like drumming on the toms and the cool tom grooves that he was doing, I was hooked. And that song was one of the key deciding factors that made me want to play drums. And that's resonated with me. It's got some great vocals by Murray Attaway in it. Fear of God, the title track, Michael Rockefeller, the great Michael Rockefeller, Cattle Prod and I See Mo, and another favorite of mine from back in my youthful days. Please Stop Me, just top to bottom, my favorite Guadalcanal Diary album. Just such a great album. So there you go. Those are that's my ranking of the Guadalcanal Diary albums. Again, a great band. If you like REM, you'll love them. If you like the Byrds, if you like maybe early Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, you'll love Guadalcanal Diary. Just such a great band. Such a very well-known band from Marietta, Georgia. Thank you guys very much for watching this, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.